Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, and I'm here to watch along with the Wired Direct 2024. It goes live in a couple of minutes. It's going to be full of awesome indie games and sort of, I think, DLC announcements, all sorts of cool stuff from Wired Productions. Now I'm an official Wired creator, which is awesome, so can't wait to see all of the juicy things they're going to be showing off. Looking forward to seeing what's on show, especially with WASD coming later this week, which is awesome. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, guys. Let's go. For some reason, OBS isn't showing my chat. Always nice, that, innit? Let's get it up on my phone quickly. What a pain in the arse. Shout out to Thimber, Grim Reaper Sage, Ballman Gamer. Shout out to Thimber, channel member 15 months. 10 seconds to go. Let's go! Well, I'll turn this up a bit now. Let's go! I'm looking forward to Gory.
We're live. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Wired Direct 2024 showcase. It's a yearly presentation where Wired and our development partners lift the lid on just some of the stuff they've been working on over the last year or so.
Hello.
We've got loads of gameplay reveals, world premieres, in-depth interviews with some of the developers, and just loads more. But one thing's for sure, it's chock full of stuff, and we want to just get straight into it. So we better get a move on.
This is Gory Cuddly Carnage.
I enjoyed playing this last year, so it's definitely on my list of interested releases.
In the beginning, there were cats.
It's nice and gory.
Little animals, loved by all. But I guess shit changes. On August 29th, 2024. Good versus bad. Cat versus unicorn. So don't be a pussy, cat. Paint the town red.
Don't be a pussy cat!
Holy fuck!
Looking
I'm
forward to
going to
that one.
be singing that song in my sleep. Now,
Definitely.
little unknown fact: we tried to get Blink 182 to record a version of their hit song "Unfurline This," but no dice. Anyway, Gory Cuddly Carnage is going to launch on August 29th on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and my favorite Nintendo Switch. And you can pre-order right now on Xbox, PlayStation, and even smash your paws right now on Steam.
I know what you're thinking, and it's what kind of maniac would envision this type of game? Well, hey, good news, viewers, because we've got Angry Demon Studios joining us right now to give us a little look into their frankly twisted minds. Well, 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 the Angry Demon Studio maniacs responsible for that trailer that we just saw. Thanks for joining us all the way from Sweden, although with the internet, doesn't really matter where you are in the world these days, does it, to be honest? Let's imagine that somebody has just stumbled into this trailer and they've got no idea what the hell they... I mean, I know the game and I was still like, oh my god. What kind of gameplay experience is a game like Gory offering to the folks at home?
Well, that is a very big question because it offers a lot of different.
It offers a
types
cat
of,
on a flying
just gameplay
skateboard,
or just things
chopping
overall.
up
I think we
unicorns.
have like three major pillars to the
It's like
game,
a
which is combat.
fever dream. That's what it's like.
That is something we spend a lot of time on,
And it's
with you.
awesome. Played the demo.
And
It was
there
great.
are the cutscenes, and introductions and just making it feel cinematic and cool. And the third one, I think I've forgotten because I am the lead designer.
I know.
Oh,
It's
racing.
one
Yeah,
of them.
racing is one. Thank you. But yeah, so basically, there is racing, but the two things that are the main things of the game is basically like very smooth combat and just traversal on a hoverboard.
Yeah, short version. You're a cat on a hoverboard slicing unicorns.
And that's the thing that's supposed to feel good, and that's what the game offers. Thank you, William. lead audio.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's a game where it's super easy and fun to have fun and play the game. And if you want to, you can get really good at it, but at the same time, you don't have to be super experienced with hack and slash or skating.
Yeah, I had a lot of
gaming
fun
or
playing
game.
it in the demo
It's
without
a-
any knowledge of what I was
it's a
doing. I was just
very
running around battering
action-driven,
people,
fun,
hitting people with things,
easy
chopping
to
them up.
play, cool
Good fun.
game in which it's just adorable things happening.
Caroline actually hit something really important there. We did a playthrough with a charity like 2 years ago, and one of the people that played it had never played a hack and slash, and they just loved it. And they said like it's baby's first hack and slash because
Yeah.
it was so easy to actually play it. You didn't actually have to know it, but you still had a lot of fun with it. But like the main thing that we've always been striving for is just fun.
Yeah.
So there's like, yeah, sure, the game takes skill and all of that, but the main factor that we always ask ourselves, like, is it fun? And if it's not fun, we'll just not have it in the game.
And
That like the players amount of fun is the most
Yeah.
important thing to us.
And we had experienced hack and slash players playing this game too, and they've had fun too.
Yeah.
That's most
I
important
feel like
to us.
the idea of it being fun is very obvious from the surface, with the bombast of it being unicorns and a cat as a main character. That's a very visually striking concept and a world. So can you explain a little bit behind the inspiration of why a cat, why a unicorn, why a hoverboard? Like what made you decide on these factors?
So basically, we've been doing this scary, serious game for years, and we really needed an outlet to do something fun, to do something that we felt like this is a crazy idea. Let's put it in there. And so Gory, the basic idea of Gory was born, and a cat because we love cats.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love cats?
Everybody loves cats.
And we came up with the idea, like the ultimate pet. What would that be that you can't get? Oh, that would be a unicorn, of course. Who doesn't want a unicorn as a pet? The perfect pet.
And then all of a sudden we had a cat also on a hoverboard because that was a really cool mechanic we had, and we tested it. And now we have unicorn enemies, so it kind of just spiraled out of control there for a bit.
So we had fun with the idea, and a new idea was born from that idea, and then it just...
I think my favorite memory is when we when we kind of like we were brainstorming how to spawn the enemies. In Devil May Cry, they are demons, so they just they kind of climb out of darkness from the ground. It's like they climb out of hell. That's really
It's
cool.
really cool.
It's like, what do we do? And one of us had the idea that what if we do like gacha balls, you know, from machines where you put like
Like
a coin in
corner.
it, yeah, and then you roll it and then it comes out. It's like, no, that's too crazy. And it's like, wait, I was still in the Absolov mode, and I was like, yeah, why the fuck not? Let's do that.
Yeah,
So
they're
we just
toys.
had this teleporter eggs, which is basically teleporting high-tech gacha.
Yeah.
So the answer in short really is Gory is just a game made with no restraint whatsoever, because the sort of the shackles of serious Norse mythology infused horror sometimes can get a bit much to bear, right?
Hell yeah.
That summarizes it
Very
pretty
well
well.
summarized.
Yeah.
That's it.
I suppose the main question a lot of people would be asking when they see a game like this is, what's the plot? What would players be doing to sort of, I guess, guide them through their unicorn slaughtered, bloodbath?
Let's see here. What have we given away? Because I don't want to spoil anything today. But basically, the world as we know have ended due to toys. We all knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Basically, there's a company called Cool Toys, and they made this Ultra Pet, which is the ultimate pet toy. It's alive, but it doesn't do the normal organic stuff like peeing and pooing and dying and those annoying things that you have to clean up after. So they made this like it's a replicant. So the inspiration was Blade Runner with the replicants. They're like fake people. So these are like fake pets. They started out doing pets that were similar to real pets, but they didn't sell very well. So they started doing these and these more like fantasy film, like the unicorn, and that was the big break. And it spread all over the world. And then bam, something happened that made them mutate and rebel against their human masters. And this is basically where the universe takes off. We have these mutated toys that, in the apocalypse, and we have our hero and his friends, or our three heroes. It's Gory, the cat, Frank, the hoverboard, and then Chip, the kind of little bit sad. He's an AI and became sentient, and because of that, sentience comes with sadness, as most of us knows, in one form or another. So that's kind of his thing. While Frank is maybe not as sentient because he's just happy about everything. He's one of them characters, and we get to follow their path through this kind of hilariously apocalyptic world, while also trying to save their creator, Professor Y, which they assumed were dead, but she's not.
Hey, that's a nice little cliffhanger to end it on, to be completely honest. Angry Demon Studios, thank you very much for that comprehensive, although still frankly quite bizarre look into Gory, which we now know is just months away. Before we let you go, is there anywhere you'd like to send the people where they can find you, keep up to date with all things Angry Demon Studio?
Oh yeah, for sure. Go to gory.wtf is the website. So gory. What the fuck? You'll get all the info right there.
And you can find us on Discord, and when the game is released, please come join us.
And all links are, just as William said, available on gory.wtf. That's Gory What the Fuck for all of you fans out there.
Hey, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, definitely check this one out, guys. It's going to be awesome when it releases. August 29th. Bit of a wait, but looking forward to playing more of it.
Well, I don't know about you, Jake, but that was flipping awesome. Thank you, Angry Demon Gang. If
What's
you feel
next?
a curious cat and can withstand the allergies, you can pre-order and wishlist on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox right now. Check out the links below, and you can also head to gory.wtf, what the fur, for all the details on everything that we've announced today.
All right. Well, listen, I think it's about that time where we introduce who we are, why we're here, and a little bit about Wired. We've started with a bit of a cold open. To be completely honest, there's a lot of we've hit our sort of quota for cat jokes, by the way, so don't worry about that. That was I told you it was chock full of content, to be honest. In case you didn't know already, my name's Chiklikowski, and this fine fellow here is Aaron. We've been running the Wired Unplugged podcast over the last few years and working closely with Wired. They've been really, really good to us. And do you know what? Like, in case you don't know who Wired are and the Wired Direct, what it's all about, Wired are like this truly independent publisher, which is quite a rare thing these days, to be completely honest. You might know them from some of their stuff like Martha is Dead, Close to the Sun, and then the Falconeer Chronicles, Bulwark. You might be a Bullockhead, depends. It's a bit of a civil war in how you pronounce that. There's Deliver Us to the Moon and Shaq Fu, which maybe that isn't in the notes. That's a bit of an ad lib there, to be honest.
No, listen. I'll be honest. We met Shaq. We spent a day with Shaq, and what a flipping beast! What a specimen of a human Shaq is.
I watched him on Hot Ones
ridiculous.
smash those wings, and I was like, oof, man.
Yeah, like he tapped me, and I felt like I'd been hit by a train. That's all I'm going to say. And then he brought me back to life because he killed me. I'm not even joking. There's video evidence out there. Go check out Wired on YouTube. It exists.
But actually, right now, let's stay right here because we've got something. We got a really, really move. We've got another trailer right now, and this is a brand new first look at something special. Let's run it.
I wonder what this is.
Night crawlers. That's what the people in the city call us. The Thought Bureau describes my duty as roam. Compared to the number of midnight operations, we spend most of our time in other people's brains, listening to what you hear and watching what you see. April 30th, 1976. It's the 4th year since I joined Leviathan's Thought Bureau. It's taken me 8 whole years to finally discover who I am.
This is creepy as hell.
What happened to me?
Yeah, this is mega creepy. You can tell this is from the same publishers as that Martha game. Karma, next gen, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC.
Wow. Okay. That looks absolutely incredible. I'm going to have to get my board out. I'm going to have little ropes going between pictures to try and decipher what's going on. But you're not going to have to wait too much longer to learn more about Karma the Dark World, as over the next coming months, we're going to have new reveals and information coming about the game. But from today, Jake, you can wishlist on PC and PS5 right now. Also, if you want a tiny bit more information, you can go to karmadarkworld.com to sign up for more updates as we go on this mysterious journey together. Speaking of the game, if you're keen to know more, we have a nice video interview from Pollard Studio all the way from China.
Thank you for watching our trailer. I'm Lu Chen. I'm the executive producer.
I'm Yong He. I'm a creative director.
What happened to me?
Yeah, Yeah, Karma, The Dark World is a psychological horror game with first-person narrative. We created a society under control of a company called Leviathan. The player is setting as an agent from this company. The daily work is using a special helmet to dive into people's brain to search their deep, deep memories, to collect the secret they want to hide, and also to find out what is the truth, what is going on. So there are gonna be two lines. One is reality, and the other one is like more magical, like dreams. It's very special. Polar Studio is based in Shanghai, China. We have 20 developers right now, and we have 5 to 15 years experience. We are focusing on developing high quality games with awesome art style and gripping narrative. Our passion is trying to provide players an audience with a unique experience which they never seen this in their life. We are not developing a game to scary the people. I would say although Karma is a horror game, but we focus more on the psychological aspect because we realize that sometimes the tense atmosphere will grab more attention, so it will also make them better into the game experience. The story is seems sadness, I would say, on the surface, but we don't want to limit the players too much because we know everyone has their opinions and feelings. We want people to share their and emotions to us.
所以在游戏一开始的时候，我们其实是希望可以去建立一个一套宇宙世界观，然后我们通过不同的作品来去传达不同的情感。所以卡玛的话是这个的第一部作品，然后它主要讲述的是寻找自我跟拯救他人的一个过程。那这款游戏的话，它其实探索了关于比如说像这种惨痛的爱情，或者是悲剧式的家庭，当然还有我们都知道这个扭曲的这个社会道德观，所以我们希望可以置身跟玩家在一起去一同体验整个毛骨悚然的这个游戏的旅程。那同时的话，我们也希望说玩家可以时刻沉浸在这个黑暗的或者说是非常迷幻的这个整个乌托邦的这个世界当中。另外的话，其实我们所有人都特别希望说，当玩家完成了这个游戏，结束了这个游戏之后，他可以去思考说他如何去珍惜当下，他如何去珍惜他身边爱的人，去思考这些事情。
The Thought Bureau.
其实我们在做这款项目的时候，我们有过很多的灵感的参考，比如说来自于电视剧有《双分》，然后还有我们的《相对宇宙》，然后书籍的话有我们喜欢的《1984》，然后当然还有游戏的话是来自于《生化奇兵》。那我们团队的话，经常会一起大家呢去探索一些很有趣的话题性，比如说像是我们会聊，如果人们失去了隐私，如果一个 AI 控制了整个世界，如果我们去访问别人的记忆，或者是探索他的这个梦境又会是什么样子，就如果甚至有一款药物它可以去控制人们的情绪，又会变成什么样子。所有这些独特的有趣的但也因为它们有因果的这种紧密的连接，所有的这些呢就是构建我们的这个灵感的来源。
If you enjoy our games, please put us in your wish list
and website. And
thank you for watching our trailer.
What happened to me?
I like that they did their fireworks there.
Oh my.
Thanks to Polar Studios for that look at Karma the Dark World. Now, back in 2019, all the way back in 2019, Wired partnered with the best Dutch export since the Stroopwafel, Kayoken Interactive, to bring Deliver Us the Moon to the masses. And wow, it went down a storm. So much so that Kayoken pushed it to new heights and new levels, took it to what was then next gen. But one thing was always missing. Until now. They said it couldn't be done. Kind of like going to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, Deliver Us the Moon is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Don't believe us? See for yourself.
This is cool. It's coming to the Switch, but apparently, I'm sure I saw somewhere that they can't get funding or a publisher to bring the sequel out, which sucks. You can definitely see it's done on the Switch, but if it works alright, I suppose, hey, why not?
Hey guys, Koen and Paul from Kaoken here, and we have something awesome to reveal. We've been listening to the community, and a lot of people have been requesting this. We are gonna be on Nintendo Switch with Deliver Us the Moon. It's actually a very big surprise because the team actually convinced both of us that we were able to do this. And yeah, it's now there. Now Nintendo players can take their whole travels to the moon and enjoy it just like everyone else did. For me, it's a miracle that it's on there. It's crazy to think that we now have a game on Nintendo. We enjoyed making this as well, again, because we made it with all the passion we always have for these games. And yeah, enjoy the travels to the moon.
Thank you, Kerken. It's always lovely to have you along. If you want to stay up to date with Deliver Us the Moon coming to Switch, you can follow the social channels to stay up to date. Now, cast your mind back to 2022. We made a small little teasing announcement for a hotel management simulator game called Hotel Architect. And since then, we've kept the door shut. Well, now the time has come to check in. Well, that looks absolutely amazing. We are now joined by the mighty and wonderful Axel from Pathos Interactive. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
For the people who are checking in to Hotel Architect for the first time, how would you describe the game?
Yes, so Hotel Architect is a simulation tycoon game in which you build up hotels in various exciting locations all over the world. And I would say the game is all about letting your creativity loose as a godlike hotel entrepreneur. You can design your hotels the way you want, experiment with staff and guests in different ways to make them happy or miserable if that's what you want. So basically, it's a very sandboxy approach. And when it comes to visuals, as seen in the video, it's a top-down 3D game.
I do
Very
like
cozy, colorful
games
art
like this, I
style
must
and a
admit.
quirky,
I'm
humoristic
interested.
feel.
So,
Call
when you're
me
playing, when
interested.
you're testing the game out as you're making it, are you prone to making people happy or going the opposite end of the spectrum and causing absolute misery? What sort of person are you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like it when it's kind of chaotic and making people, at least at some point, miserable, just to see how they react. But Yeah, I mean that probably comes from when I was a kid and played Sims. I mean, the funniest thing about Sims was to make the family
Yeah.
miserable.
Remove the
At
ladders
least
from
when
the
I
swimming
played.
pool.
Exactly, that's a
I
classic.
always,
The
I
joy, the joy.
always
Well,
used to
what
murder
else
my
did you used to
Sims,
play when you were
set the
growing up
house
that
on
kind of
fire, lock them
inspired
in, stuff like that.
the direction of Hotel Architect, I guess?
Always funny.
I played a lot of like city
Yeah, I bet the
builders and
FPS is bad as
management
well,
games,
Grim.
strategy overall. But yeah, my I guess my favorite game of all time would be Caesar 3. That's totally
Yeah, I'll
awesome
keep
game.
turning the stream
And
up a bit. It's hard to
actually, there
judge,
are
so
quite a lot of similarities
I'm not talking that much. It doesn't
with
really matter that
Hotel
much.
Architect, like when it comes to economics and area planning and logistical chains and stuff like that. Uh, so even if it's more like small scale and modern business game, Hotel Architect, it's still got some similarities with the classic like city builders management games.
Amazing. So you've mentioned some of the similarities, but what are some of the things that set this game apart from other games within the genre?
Yes, I would say it's a mix of many different elements that creates our unique simulation and gameplay. But one thing we have in Hotel Architect, which is very rare in tycoon games, is the building system where all tiles and walls and items you place are built up manually by characters in the game. In other tycoon games, especially 3D ones, everything tend to just pop up instantly when you dragged out or placed it in a world. But when we designed this game, we thought it would add an extra layer of depth to have all construction stuff simulated as well, as these
I
are
mean, that looks
things
cool,
that
but I've seen
also
that in
may
other
affect your
games.
hotel
Like,
guests.
I wouldn't say
I
it's
mean, just imagine if you
necessarily
get
exclusive
your
to
wall
this game,
smashed
but
in
it's
while
still a
you
cool
lie
premise.
in bed at night, or if someone comes and installs a new shower while you're sitting on the toilet, you probably won't leave a very positive review when you're checking out from that hotel. So we really wanted to create an awesome simulation where characters react to basically everything that happens in their surroundings. Yeah, and this of course also makes it even more interesting to play around in our sandbox mode, where you can create your own crazy scenarios and see how everything plays out.
So speaking of the sandbox mode, what are some of the features of the game that people can play around with in that sandbox mode? What gets you like personally excited?
Yeah, so I mean, I like to build like crazy. You can actually zone different types of areas within one room. So if you want to, you can like place a toilet in the middle of the reception, and then you have like the waste room just adjacent to it, and maybe a dance floor as well. That's obviously not the like perfect way
It's
to build.
chaos.
It's chaos, but that's yeah, that's how I like to play it because this game should also be like fun to fail. You do have like objectives, and you need to complete some scenarios on different locations on around the world. But when you've done so, you have like unlocked the sandbox mode for that location, and you can play around however you want. But of course, as a hotel manager, you're also in charge of all finances. You get to choose every staff member in your hotel, and they all differ in experience and attributes. You get to create your restaurant menu, and overall, you have to like make sure your hotels offer such services and activities that your targeted guest group wants.
You mentioned that you can create your own menu, and obviously you can build locations all around the world. Does local cuisine feature?
Yeah, we actually plan to have like one unlockable meal or dish per location. So yeah, that's for sure in the game.
Amazing, amazing. I love me some good grub. It's the best thing about traveling. Let's be honest. You go to a hotel, there's something that you've never seen
Yeah.
before on a menu. Like, for example, go to Amsterdam. It's like, yes, I will have the bitterballen. But I digress. So, for those who have never experienced a Pathos interactive joint before, what can you tell us about the studio and the team that are working on this?
Yeah, so Pathos Interactive, we are a Swedish game development studio founded by me and two brothers, Christopher and Alexander Anderson, about 9 years ago now. We are now 5 developers in the team, and Pathos is focusing on strategy games, but in a quite broad sense. Our previous game was a competitive real-time strategy game called Bannerman, and that was very much a passion project since everyone in the team grew up with classics like StarCraft, Age of Empires, and City Builders, and we wanted to contribute with a fresh game in that genre. Um, but our current project, Hotel Architect, definitely derives from passion as well. As I mentioned, I'm a fan of simulation games and city builders. So yeah, it's like we are creating the games we love and want to play ourselves.
For a moment there, I thought you was going to say, I myself am a hotelier and I own much land and many establishments. But
unfortunately not.
We all wish. One final question before we get to the end of this. What was the moment that made the five of you go, yes, Hotel Architect is what we're making? Like, did you all go on like many hotel trips together? Did you all, hack into the mainframe of like the Marriott and look at all their finances and stuff like that? What was the exciting twig that got you all? Yes, for legal reasons.
If you did, don't admit to that.
Sure. No, but actually it was Christopher, as I mentioned. He was on a trip with Jonathan, another developer, and when they were at the hotel, they realized, okay, there are so many things that can like go wrong in a hotel, and there are so many like logistical chains and so many parameters that have to just
did any of them get their walls
get
smashed in while they're trying to sleep?
I'm not really sure about the walls smashed in, but they experienced a lot of like unpleasant stuff. But anyway, I would say that when they came home, they had this idea, and we looked around a bit, obviously, to see what games already exist. I mean, because there are many great games out there already. But we thought it was a good fit, also for our team with our background, and so we just went all in.
Amazing. So finally, what can players expect from Hotel Architect moving forward? What have they got to look forward to?
So, well, they can expect a vibrant and amusing, sometimes chaotic simulation game, but with mechanics that allow you to experiment and play around with different strategies. You will actually start off in Gothenburg, my hometown in Sweden, with the objective to build a hotel suitable for backpackers and sporties. And that's basically how the game is designed. You unlock a new location with some kind of challenge or scenario, and then when you completed that scenario, you unlock a new location and also the sandbox mode for the location you just played. But also, finally, you can expect Hotel Architect to be released later this year as early access, and we are so excited at this point. We're now designing the levels that will be part of the release version, and we are implementing the final major features. And it's so nice to see all things come together so well. And we can't wait to share this with all gamers out there.
We can't wait either. Thanks for joining us. Let's crack on.
So that was Hotel Architect, and we can't wait to share more with you as the year goes on. There's already an early access roadmap that you can check out. Remember, you can wishlist the game on PC. And if you're watching this live, then check out the chat and you can join a Discord and stay up to date with all things Hotel Architect.
Now, usually in these things, you come to the adverts where people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for 10 seconds of fame. However, we're doing things a tiny bit differently this time, Jake. As people may well know, we are big supporters.
Apologies,
of
guys.
Safe
I
in Our
literally
World,
cannot
video
see the
game
chat
mental
for some
health
reason. It's
charity,
not loading
which
at all on my
brings
end.
comfort to people who
I
not
have to
only
keep
play our
jumping in and
games,
out.
but also make our games as well. So we're going to hand off to our wonderful friends at Safe in Our World to tell you a bit about what they're up to.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Safe in Our World are awesome,
is
though.
the
They're a
global
really good
mental health
charity. Raise money
charity
for
for the
them.
video games industry and its gamers. The main goal of the charity is to create and foster worldwide mental health awareness within the video games industry and beyond. to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, make it a natural topic of conversation, and empower people to reach out for help if they need it. The charity was launched on the 10th of October 2019 on World Mental Health Day and has since then grown at a fast rate.
Stupid.
As part of the launch, a poignant game called Fractured Minds was released across all platforms globally to support the charity.
I remember Fractured Minds.
The game was made by an aspiring developer,
It's
Emily Mitchell, who entered a game development competition and subsequently won BAFTA's Young Game Design Award in 2017. The game was made by herself and focused on her personal journey through different forms of mental health, from anxiety to depression to claustrophobia. Fractured Minds created these feelings in every scene. If you haven't played it already, I really urge you to.
I'm not dipping out on your BMG. You never know with Fabio. He's already said he's going to be late.
Ever since inception,
and like when Fabio says he's going to be late,
of the charity to
he's going to
organise an
be
event where
usually like
aspiring
3
game
hours late.
developers have the opportunity to create games around the topic of mental health. So
I've had to literally open up
I'm
a
excited
third window
to say
just to be able
that
to see the
today
chat.
we are announcing the launch of the first ever Safe in Our World Mental Health Game Dev Champions
that's
event.
cool.
As we now know, the charity was launched on the eve of a pandemic, which I actually think was pretty good timing. There were many dark days for many of us during that time, and I don't think we'll ever truly know the impact of that time. But if there is one legacy that COVID has left, it's that perhaps people are now talking about their mental health more. So that's the theme of the competition. We want to continue this vital conversation and encourage people to express what they went through and how they felt by making a game that means something to them, like Fractured Minds meant to Emily Mitchell. Registration is open from today until the end of May, and you can
the hosts
find
aren't
all
the best, but
details
they do it.
on our website
They're probably not
of how
used
to
to
get
being
involved.
hosts. They probably just
So
work
just visit
at the company. That's all.
www.safeinourworld.org, and the official start
To be
date
fair, I'm
will be
home
the
tomorrow
1st of
anyway.
June. There will be categories for
Group
both
save,
solo
so
devs
if I
and small
can't talk
teams,
today, I can
and a
definitely
host
talk
of
tomorrow.
awards and wonderful prizes,
Yeah, you should come see
including
me
a
Thursday.
showcase of all the
I've
winning
got to
games.
figure out how I'm getting down now.
So please take part and please share your story. Safe in Our World has already helped hundreds of thousands
But definitely
of
check
people
out Safe in Our
around
World,
the
guys.
world.
It's a really
And
good
with
charity.
your support, we can help many more. Please help us spread the word and make stigma around mental health a thing of the past. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all the partners that has made this event possible, and good luck to everybody.
So thank you to Safe in Our World. And great news for you fans of iridescent blobs out there. Lumo, the Master Moat Chronicles, back in 2022, launched with its meditative mix of puzzly platforming, and it came out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, the Switch, the PC. But there's a whole new slew of consoles out there, and so to make sure that you can enjoy that relaxing mix of Lava Lamp-esque gameplay on every high-definition console there is, well, there's going to be a free upgrade later this year. On top of that, though, there is a fully playable co-op mode being added as well. So keep an eye out for more information all about that soon.
I reviewed this. It's on the channel if anyone's interested. So it's not a bad little game. It looks like it's getting a co-op mode maybe now though, or a high def. Yeah, I was paying attention. I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember. It might have had co-op when I played it last. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a long time since I played this one. It was one of the first games I think I reviewed as a reviewer. Like I got a code for one of the first few. Many eons ago. What are we up to now? So should we have a laugh? Hang on. Content. 1,056 review videos I've done now. Pump those bad boys out. No one does content like me.
Now, Jake, I don't know if you
I'm a
remember, the
fucking
last
machine.
time we did a wide direct, we were all in lockdown. Everyone was working from home. We just transitioned to trying to find this new way to communicate across borders because we weren't sharing an office anymore. And none of that came into a fascinating spark of insight than Leo being trapped in Italy. Now, he had a very interesting experience while he was over there doing some work on his family's land, shall we say.
Make sure you hit that like button.
And
Hit
it's kind of
subscribe if you're enjoying it.
Juicy idea.
I haven't done a co-stream or a watch along in quite a while, to be fair. So it's good to be doing one. To be fair. Oh, what's this one? It's Diggers. Bob the Builder of the game.
Work all day and through the night, early birds and catch a flight, burning candles at the bins. It's always been your thing, slash and grab in the rain, digging dirt for gold again. Leave it out. Dust cloud in the sun, clear the decks. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, that was your very first look at Dig VR. And to learn a little bit more about the
Not
game, we're
fussed
joined
about
by Ben
meta.
from
I
Just
just
Had
don't
One
like. I think
and Leo Zulo,
meta
the MD
VR
from
games
Wired,
look
who got a
nasty.
bit of a like a
It's just
bit
me.
like
They just
Thanos. He
don't
got a bit of
look
an
as good as the
introduction before
VRs.
the trailer, and we teased the story of how Dig VR came to be. Actually, so I think it might be a great idea to hear directly. So Ben, Leo, welcome. We just saw Dig VR, and we heard that it was something to do with a wall, an Italian estate, and lockdown. So Leo, would you like to talk about how this became such an origin story?
Yeah, happy to. So basically, February 2020, lockdown hadn't happened yet, but COVID was just rearing its ugly head. We'd just been to PAX in February, and it was obviously the last PAX, but it was probably the best PAX ever. Came back from PAX, was feeling a little bit ropey, had to go to Italy to look after
Yeah,
my dad,
broke
because
the
he used to
1,000
go every sort
Muppet,
of 2-3
smashing
weeks just
through.
to keep an eye on him. Got to Italy a couple of days after PAX.
He's
came
back.
down with
He's
a
back.
cold,
My bad.
and it was a normal, innocent cold, and I'm like
This
coughing and
looks
spluttering.
like a
It's a
synth.
cold, and all my relatives
All
over
out
there
for,
thinking,
that's
"You're
true.
going to kill us. You're going to kill us." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. It's just a bloody cold." Anyway, a couple of days later, the cold went away, and it wasn't COVID. And I phoned up the office and said, "Right, I'm coming back to the UK," and they said, "No one wants you back." So I'm like, "What do you mean no one wants me back? I'm the fucking MD." And they're like, "No, if everyone comes back, if you come back, they're all going to mutiny." So I was sitting in a countryside farmhouse, and my window to my left was overlooking the Tuscan hills. And I'm looking at my screen at the people in the office, and I thought, you know what, fuck this, I'm staying here. So I stayed in Italy for lockdown. And after a couple of weeks, I got a bit bored, and I kept on looking outside in the garden, or in the kind of the sort of the fieldy bit, and there was this long wall about 50 meters long, and it was looking a bit sorry for itself. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to borrow my cousin's digger, not cousin's digger, my cousin's tractor, go up to it and take it down. I mean, what could go wrong? So in a tractor, starting to smash the wall, and obviously it was the wrong tool for the job. So I hired a digger, and obviously, you know, health and safety aside, they dropped off the digger and said, Can you use a digger?" Yeah, of course I can. You know what I mean? And they gave us the keys. So I'm in a digger with the two controllers, and I'm like, you know, up, down, forward, jumping. Fucking hell, this is not working. And I'm smashing this fucking wall. And you know, after
And
quite
I'm
a few
smashing
failed
this fucking
attempts, I
wall, and
finally
it's just not
got into the
fucking
groove
working.
of
What the
using
fuck
the
is
two
going on?
controllers. And then every now and again, lost the controls, because it's one of those kind of learning things. And I had this kind of eureka moment. I thought, you know what, this is almost exactly like you were in a game and you were on board in and you're learning the controls. And then I thought about it, and I thought the two controls are almost identical to VR. And imagine what this would be like in VR. So I'm like, the idea sort of stuck. So I came back to the UK after many months, when COVID was almost gone, and mentioned it to my teammates, and they said, "Yeah, good idea." And then I had a moment when I had a lunch with Joel Benton, wonderful man, who is part of Just Add Water, and I was telling him my story, and he goes, "You know what? I've got a team that can make this. And I went, oh, really? So he went off to his team and they said, yeah, we can make it. And together we came up with a pitch and presented it to Meta. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, we have Dig VR. So those ideas of, these games coming from silly ideas, they sometimes do.
and so that's a fantastic story. And you mentioned Just Add Water, and of course we're also joined with Ben here from Just Add Water. So Ben, I assume that you're taking some responsibility for this game.
I'm taking no responsibility. No, yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, when we first had the meeting with Leo and the rest of his team, and they kind of pitched the grand idea at the top of it's a digging game, and that was kind of the overarching thing, and then we needed to fill in the rest of that gap between it's a digging game and game, so it's like, what can we do with it? And funnily enough, I was at the time on the call, I was sat in my lounge and just looking out the window, and someone opposite was having their driveway dug up at the same time, so they had like a little mini digger, and they had like
I think that's the only downside. There's a lot of just people's faces talking and not enough
so they were
gameplay.
breaking up the driveway,
Even if it's
and
just
I was
like a window at the back or
in
somewhere in the middle.
These guys and watching this digger, and they were breaking the driveway, and I saw they like detached it, and then they attached a bucket on, and they started doing something else, and they found a root, and they were like, oh no, let's take this bucket off and put this other like saw on, and we'll do the root. And then I was just kind of like, well, why don't we, rather than, because we were going to have loads of different machines and things like this, and I was like, well, why don't we just kind of do what they're doing, right, and have just focus on diggers, but have loads of interchangeable tool heads, right? So we can change out different tool heads, you can do different tasks, make it very gamey, make it very fun, and it kind of just evolved from there. I think Leo was on board with that idea at the start. If he's not, he is now. But
yeah, I mean, it was a good collaboration. I mean, the guys took the idea and fleshed it out. To be fair, but the core point of the game is it just had to remain true to that feeling of sitting in a digger. So if you've been in a digger, it perfectly recreates that feeling. If you've never been in a digger, it gives you that feeling to makes you want to actually be in a real digger. So it was kind of that perfect, but also with a massive game component. So even though it's a simulation in terms of controls, there's lots of variety to make it simple so that it's actually a game. So it's a sim but game. So it's a really unique hybrid, but the controls are spot on.
I think it's like, we're describing it as sim light, right? It's sim light, authentic controls, but with a like arcadey twist. So there's a lot of things in there, like you use the digger in a bowling alley, you use it to play hook a duck, you use it on a ball pit, in a big digger though, in like a kid's ball pit, right? So again, we wanted to not do that kind of traditional, hardcore heavy sim, because that's not what it is. And again, the platform doesn't really kind of allow that kind of uber physics, uber sim. So we had to focus on like really enjoyable gameplay, but whilst keeping that sense of authentic controls and nailing that right, because it's hard to master. Easy to kind of learn the controls, but really hard to master. And then when it clicks, you get in that flow state.
I'm not
right?
gonna lie, is anyone else bored?
You just zone out and you dig
VR,
in the dirt, zoning out.
It's just
so we
a
wanted to
digger
tap
game,
into that.
and
So we have kind of mashed
and it's
a
VR,
lot together
and it's
to try and make it
Facebook
appeal
VR,
to more than just
Meta,
the hardcore,
right?
Digger or excavator fans.
I like
we really
VR
wanted
games.
To broaden that appeal.
But I have no interest in Digger VR. No offense to the guys making it. Fair play to them.
It wasn't too far
but
coming out of lockdown
I want
where you were
to
allowed
watch
to go out again. And I met Leo and
like
Jason in Woking
more console
to
PC games and stuff like
Leo
that.
was like, "Do you want to see our new game?" I was like, "Okay." And just shows me videos of him.
I'm not
on a
that
digger,
VR
like,
games. I like them to be more
like,
unique.
No. This is our new game. I was like, okay. So
there's a lot. It's just
so
like mates out pub having a chat. Come on,
exists, and
let's move on. Come on, lads. Next game, or wrap it up. That can't be the last game, surely.
Gamify it in such a fun, cool way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good. I mean, it was,
I assumed they gamified it like all the other simulators gamify simulator games, like the digger games and the like painting simulators, the house flippers, the power wash simulators, all that sort of stuff.
And
is a Bob the Builder unlockable though? That's what I want to know.
Between the two, I think is what's going to push it forward. It really does feel like you're in a digger, and if you've ever been on a digger, it's a big boy's toy for everyone, but it just feels so good. I do want to. I mean, there are some. Meta I've got to thank the Meta team because they 100% got into the idea. Spoke to their team and they were like, "Yeah, I've been on a digger. I know what it's like. My boy's been on a digger. I know what it's like. I really like this idea." I mean, Joel, he completely got the idea. The Just Add Water team completely got it. So this has been a true collaboration where everyone's just thrown in,
Evening,
all their sort
Meisuko.
of passion
Good
and all their,
evening, everybody.
it's just,
Come
it's
on,
just,
smash
it's a
that
game.
like button,
It's a
guys.
game.
Not enough of
It's
you
just
hitting
a
that
game.
like button.
It's just a bit of simulation,
Let's
but there's a lot
get
of
the
feeling,
likes
a
up.
lot of
Come on,
emotion, and
come
it's
on.
very, very,
There's more
very
people
personal.
watching than there's likes.
So for me personally,
It's a little clickety click. It
I've
makes
still got some of
Facebook
my
love
dad's
me.
sort of voice in the back when I'm mashing up this
You know
wheel
what they're
saying,
like.
"What the fuck you doing, boy?" You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I've got, bless him, he's not here at the moment anymore. So this is kind of to him and to everyone that's had those sort of moments. So, yeah, we've got to make people proud with this one. Well, I mean, as of probably 3, 2, 1
Simulation
now,
of simulation.
the meta
Yes.
page is live if we've timed it really well. So if you type in Dig VR on the Meta store or the Meta page website, you should be able to go to there and wishlist it. Pre-orders are not ready yet, but you should be able to wishlist it.
What's everyone playing recently as well, while we're here?
Will be live and all the various socials. We will be doing some crazy shit with Real Diggers to promote this, so stay tuned.
Yeah, they're gonna go on a
space,
wrecking spree. They're gonna
wishlist it, tell your friends, and
wreck people's houses. They're gonna flip people's over and stuff like that. I like the music though. That's the best bit.
So, now for something a little bit different. Now, as most of you might know, Bulwark the Falconeer Chronicles released on March 26th to much critical acclaim, made by solo developer Thomas Seller. What a legend. What magnificent hair. What magnificent style and fashion.
I've got a
It's
review
great.
video of this coming up soon. I've just been
has
ill
Thomas
and
been taking any
busy, so I
time
haven't
off
had time
since
to get it
launch?
out yet. It will be coming
Yeah, so
one day this week, I think. But it's well worth playing, definitely. Bulwark.
The Free House Remnant, I presume. The Orthodoxy holds the power to increase your settlements.
We represent the bannerless on this day, and they have deemed you unworthy of further fighting.
Oberon's gate remain. We can import resources and reconnect with our lost kin. This is a great day.
It's nice that he's already doing a free update. That's good. I can't believe it's all solo dev, this.
That's right.
Really, really
New
good.
DLC is on the way for Bulwark, the Falconeer Chronicles. Make sure you can pick up Bulwark to get yourself up to date with the base game, and keep an eye on Thomas's development progress on Twitter or X.
Welcome to Arcade Paradise.
So, some classic arcade sim management simulating.
Let's play.
This looks so nice. Gotta go fast. Yeah. Go.
Yep. Is that gum?
He is. He never misses.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely a stain. I've been there, buddy. Oh, now
You know what? I've always wanted to clean up a shit
arcades.
stain in VR.
That was amazing. This guy really enjoyed that a little too much.
Whoa! Let's do it. Whoa, look at this place. This is insanely cool. It's getting better and better.
Oh my god, I'm amazing at this game.
It's what we do in these streets when you gotta pick up the cash.
All of the arcade games are great.
This is so good. Oh, where's my car?
This is the coolest Quest release I've played so far this year.
Oh, wait, what? How cool is this? Y'all are seeing my new office, which is very messy and still not set up.
This is mental. I've just put an arcade machine in my room.
Well, dope. I guess I can just play games in here.
See, that's the sort of VR game I want to play. It looks ace.
the king of tech. Babylon brain stuck on the track. Right on the course, revealing all that you lack. Here's a fact, rip through the illusion. You might find a clue inside your
So the Wired Steam sale is going to be featuring some of the latest and greatest games from Wired, as well as some of the classics from the attic you might not have checked out the first time round. Hey, but listen, we tried to keep this as full of content as we could, but what's a presentation if you're watching it without one more thing?
Ooh, this is interesting. There's where the people made that marker. I wonder what it'll be. This one doesn't tell you anything about it at all.
So there you have it. That was Wired Direct 2024.
Oh, literally, that was just a stream, like a tease saying we're making something, but we're not telling you anything about it. I hate teasers like that.
And that's not it. Me and Aaron are going to go and have a well-deserved cup of tea now. And as we disappear, you can watch some pure, unadulterated gameplay of all the games mentioned. Well, all the games we're allowed to show at least at the Wired Direct right after this. And if you're watching this live, stick around in the sidebar. You'll be able to see all the information about all of the games that are featured today, as well as lots more.
But yeah, thank you everyone for jumping in and watching.
Right now, if you want to get
I do like
familiar with some of the previous titles, and for everything upcoming,
Wired,
make sure to wishlist. As we
Wired
mentioned,
games.
all of the links are right there.
Yeah, do you know what?
Check out the games there.
Yeah,
you can
there'll be a
pre-order
different
some
haul.
places. You can
But
wishlist
just
it, some you can
imagine
buy in just
Eject,
a few days, like Arcade
but
Paradise
with
VR. I hope you have a
MCM,
really
where
nice
there's tens of
time.
thousands of
Thank you
people
so
at
much for
MCM
joining
as
us.
well,
Have
but
a
they
really
can wander
wonderful rest of
into
the week.
Eject. I mean,
Bye-bye.
Eject was rammed at the weekend to the point it wasn't even enjoyable on like one of the days. Imagine it with all those other people there on top of that. I just don't think it's got, and it costs a fortune, and it's got getting hotels will be even harder and stuff, and the travel will be even more hard because of the trams and.
Hey, what is that?